Namatanai MP calls for reconciliation. Police retrieve a vehicle from private citizens. And king tide victims call for support. Good evening and welcome. This is Sunday's News. I'm Kilawani. Namatanai MP Walter Schnobelt has offered for reconciliation with New Ireland Governor Sir Julius Chen and Kavieng MP Ian Ling-Stuckey. MP Schnobelt, who is also Minister for Forests, made this offer at Kavieng Airport last Friday in response to women from Kavieng District who protested upon his arrival, demanding that the three MPs from the province reconcile and work together for the good of the people.
Minister Schnobelt said he had no problem with the reconciliation, saying he is happy to sit with Minister Ian Ling-Stuckey and Governor Sir Julius Chen for a reconciliation ceremony.
Me one bell or sit down with them Sergey, Andre Blome, Governor Blubla. Me one bell or sit down with them Stuckey. Sit down, no problem. But let me place it here on record. I have offered reconciliation and peace to you many, many times. You have turned me around and you continue to use excuses that you don't want to reconcile with me. This is not my problem. Let me declare it once more time for you, my honorable governor. You name the place and you name the time and I will be there with my pick and my miss. Come, you need to reconcile. It's not my problem. You call him Dave because you leader. You know me don't call him to talk him you. You leader blouse boy, so you must give more day come to me. So one, you give. Talk him me one of them day.
MP Schnobelt called on the New Ireland Governor that he is ready to reconcile with him and put the interest of the people of New Ireland, Kavieng and Namatanai districts first in decisions as leaders.
Arem, come, call him day, call him time. And I'll be there. Enough of this back room, pull him tight in and continue confusing our people. Enough.
That's right. Okay.
Be ready to only man? Come. Give me only man. And put him interest for people of New Island. Kavieng and Namatanai district, you go past, no ting na decision, you need to blow the leader. So that I offer, and that emphasis in blow me detain, me declare him myself. Me wait in the soul, date, the time. The venue. And that's all. Come, Salim up, and I'll see you there.
Denny Sorare, National EMTV News.
Member for Namatanai and Minister for Forests Walter Schnobelt has clarified the acquisition of the Namatanai Airport land. In addressing women protesters last Friday at Kavieng Airport, MP Schnobelt said, given that his main focus is to deliver services to his people, fighting for the Namatanai Airport is one basic service that is desperately needed in Namatanai. Minister Schnobelt told the women that their claims about the airport land was incorrect and that they must get two sides of the story and stop listening to only one side of the story from other MPs from the province.
My responsibility as leader is to connect the services and give the options to my people. That's my role, my primary role. And if my people need me to go and fight for certain services for them, then so be it. That's why they put me in the office, to fight for their rights. So fighting for the airport, you don't have to be Einstein to figure it out. It's one of the most basic services we need in the Namatanai district. How much do you mean? Rono Puliwinski Highway, no camera service, no Kavieng, na die. How much? Come on, we cannot continue like this. Someone needs to stand up and say enough is enough. I mean, like, clear him, you may all get here. Title, long airport, lo Namatanai, stop underneath, lo DDA, lo Namatanai. We actually hold the title, the physical title of the airport. Because too much politics, go come, na ipasim service lo up. So me gonna be obtaining through the Lands Minister, through the normal process. Lo pasim
Public Service Minister Joe Sungi has outlined his reasons for the amendments to the Public Service Management Act, which was passed in Parliament recently. The Public Service Management Amended Act calls for all public servants who wish to contest in an election to resign 12 months prior to the issuing of writs, and the officer can be employed back into the public service after 5 years. The minister says the aim is to clean the public service workforce to ensure public servants serve with full commitment to the state and the people.
We should now change the way we are doing business, government business in this country. You had, I've just passed the amendment last week with the absolute, almost biggest majority of 81 members of parliament voted for the amendment for public servants to resign 12 months before you go into the election. And if you don't win the election, you will be out of the public service, you will be paid out, and you will be out of the public service for 5 years. If you want to come back, you come back 5 years. You can take me for this. But I think we want to clear the system. We cannot continue to contaminate public service with individuals who go into politics and come back again and demoralize and suppress the loyal public servants who are supposed to be promoted up, and their career path must be developed. They must have a future in the department that they serve. They must have a future in the agencies that they serve. Why should one person go out and come in and keep in the same position? You have a choice. You want to continue to serve as a public servant? Then be it.
Department of Personnel Management Secretary Taya Sansan has highlighted plans for policies to be developed to support the public servants. She says the policies are captured in the 30-year long-term Human Resource Development Strategic Plan 2020 to 2050, which was launched recently. The plan aims to address public service issues and lift the level of professionalism in the public service.
As public servants and leaders here today, specifically heads of agencies, it is a normal task for all of us to steer the ship to a destination that we would like to see our future generation of public service leaders be where they should be. And so the 30-year long-term plan encourages policies to be developed in the following areas. We're trying to develop policies in the areas of entry into and exit out of the public service, performance contracts for senior public servants as well as agency heads, how to assess and manage those agency heads' performance, the public service code of ethics, public sector career path, bonding and distribution of public servants, and we also look at terms and conditions of public servants. I hope that in the near future, we will make this policy housing as a condition of employment, and that is what we are aiming at. We also look at medical and life insurance for public servants.
Since the year 2000, the people of Mariki village in Gulf province have been hit by king tide. According to Mariki congregation pastor Andrew Orere, the people of Mariki since then have resettled 4 times. The villagers are appealing to the government to look into their situation and help in any way possible.
It has been 21 years the Mariki people in Gulf province have been hit by king tide. According to Mariki congregation pastor Andrew Orere, the villagers have been neglected for the past 2 decades.
Government have never recognized this village, even LLG, Baimuru LLG or provincial government or whosoever in a responsibility to disaster have never visited the village. So this year when we saw that it's really bad we can't do anything, so we decided to take this initiative to go to media and ask for help. So we are asking for help at this point of time.
Orere says basic government services like schools have been affected due to the tides, and students attend classes only when the tide is low.
All come to school. So what I high tide, they suspend the school until when there's a low time and they start the school. When it come low season, low high tide, they come out up of the suspend school. At least 1 or 2 days, 2 or 3 days. What I go around, okay, sort of they start to school again.
According to Orere, the situation has been deteriorating since last year. He says a report was given to the provincial government in June this year, but not much has been done to support them.
So all helping me one time, all little nail, that's what our concern. We have to build houses, makeshift houses. Yeah, nail and a canvas, some little kai, rice na salt tassel.
The villagers are using makeshift houses and have resettled for 4 times within 2 decades.
We are looking at least nail, hammer, saw, iron seats to make houses. And at the same time, our services will move to school and the health and the churches. So we are in, this is a situation, so we are asking for help that can move our services, school, health, and churches as well.
Podivai, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. More stories when we come back. Welcome back to the news. From ice block sales to owning a chicken farm. That's how determined Pauline Bokombari is. Pauline Bokombari is. She is now the owner of Auntie Popo's Chicken and Eggs, a small business based at Tuna Bay, Tauranga, supplying fresh chicken eggs and meat in the neighboring community and Port Moresby.
Leaving the newly filled Tauranga Road and turning into the bumpy Tuna Bay area, past the mangroves and nestled right at the top of the hill is Auntie Popo's Chicken Farm. A great view of Tuna Bay is Pauline Bokombari's hideout. Pauline runs a small chicken, egg and meat business.
We start marketing ice block, ice cream, coconut bags, misalim kerosene. So from there, me working money go and then me go into lending money. So last time helping the buy crown ya. Time I'm buy crown na me okra thinking of same. Me ko attending to all training lo kini kwada, all life skill training one me. So I'm helping me. So me like going to business I working something more. So me come in and 2015 we buy crown. 2016 we start la develop him na building house kakaruk now.
She currently has about 100 birds that have just started laying fresh eggs.
1 dozen and misalim la 10 kina. Because me start small production is small, so misalim 10 kina. Losto or salim 12 kina 95, 10 kina. So me decide lo salim straight 10 kina. All customers plan. Minus I love long. Look out him always too, but through social media, me call internet now this last so me line him. La how look out him also. Me kiss him all come, me try him. So now me try me look him same. Me find out same. Low egg business so less. Every day by yoki money. Can you sell a broiler and once they are ready, you sell na yoki money. Long all every day. Egg ready, every day yoki sales na yoki money. So that's why me go into tupla one time. But me look at him dark too, na dark and still outside.
She sells live chickens too.
Yeah, and you can look in more layers. Or laying egg, and all sit down here. 1, 2, 3 plant. Roya and all. Layers and all sit down here. Okay, left side, I'm all broiler chicken or meat bed. I'm all sit down on top, I'm already go out now. Or 7 weeks. So I'm ready low. Salim all. Okay, left side, I'm all baby meat bed, new flower chicks, all sit down now. Stop the crown left side. time already go 5, 6 now. Me say put him on one bed, I'll sit down now, I'll buy clean, I'll go out.
Pauline is one of the first small businesses in Port Moresby that is selling chicken eggs. She orders most of her supplies from Lay, an often costly exercise. She writes off her chicken meat business to keep her business going.
Me thinking to go into something bigger. Me like buy more egg, plus plenty now looking los social media or me go out to something now asking me all like buy egg or buy more little called chicks. Layer chicks local go team number produce me kind of same. But me talk him hard, me to mix him lay. Me spending money and mix him so bit still go into big production.
She uses solar for electricity and pays for water delivery.
Water I'm like every month me say buy water. 6,000 liters, 280 kina. Me say simlo. Edarano kokomo water sem also supply water lami. Was maski road and bagara pa one kokomo water also me say look out in kakaruk so still also piling way long time to me no at water also anti popo em say look out in chicken so triangle also piling time also making way karam waraka.
She currently has 100 birds, therefore is able to produce about 20 dozens of egg every day. She supplies her community and others in Port Moresby who places orders. Pauline has plans to expand Auntie Popo's chicken and eggs and secure a location in Port Moresby that customers can easily purchase the eggs. A dozen of egg is 10 kina, and you can place orders for eggs and chicken through her Facebook page, Auntie Popo's Chicken and Eggs. Shaman Poreambeb, National EMTV News.
Just a month in office and the new acting secretary for agriculture has wasted no time trying to restore the scandalous department. Among some of the important tasks directed by NEC is taking stock of all the department's assets. With the engagement of police, the department has so far retrieved vehicles from private citizens.
Police are seen here towing the car into the central government office car park where the Department of Agriculture and Livestock is. A total of 4 vehicles were retrieved last Friday, with more expected to be collected. Agriculture Minister John Simon and the new acting secretary for the Department of Agriculture and Livestock, Stephen Mombi, inspected the vehicles and were appalled at the state of some of the vehicles.
These are the latest models from Ford models. We just picked them up in 2016 year. Telephone system is all in that car. All you need to, when you're driving, you just ring or Bluetooth on your mobile, and when calls are coming in, it comes through the speaker system. You just drive and talk, and that's how beautiful the vehicles are. But just go down and see the condition of this car. Government plates are good. Was removed.
2 of the vehicles were retrieved from a private mechanic at Tete Settlement and the others with non-departmental staff. From records kept at the department since 2002, about 49 vehicles were bought for the department throughout the country. Some vehicles are kept by private mechanics due to non-payment of service fees. Others exceeded their lifespan but taken away by staff without following proper processes.
The government policy is the head of the department has an unlimited 24-hour use of government vehicles. If you're using a government vehicle, that allowance paid, you have to forfeit to the state. You can't claim it. So ultimately, our salary staff will advise, or we will advise them to remove my allowance, car allowance. So I want to use that car. And then the deputy secretaries. Anybody down the line, it's up to the head of the department to allow them.
While the department couldn't pay for the service fees, it had funds to hire vehicles, something Mr. Mombi put a complete stop to. Mombi said they are compiling a list and will start recouping all the assets that belong to the department.
All the government vehicles disappeared. We are identifying, and I know who are the officers in the department are involved. Cutting spare keys, maybe involved with the rascals. As soon as the car is parked, they have a spare key. Just walk across, get into the car and then drive off. And that's how bad it is. I'm also going through the records of what other assets have been paid for from this money, government money, the laptops, the mobile phones, the cameras. We are compiling the list. Whoever is in that custody will have to bring everything back.
Mombi said internal investigations are underway, and if some staff are found to have committed an offence criminal in nature, they will be referred to the police.
The officers involved in the department that have been identified, and of course arrests will be made. One ran away, is in hiding now. Do we know where he is? He will be arrested. And not only that, not only vehicles, it's accountable all the files that we need out the government forms for the spending, check bars, everything. Most of it is gone. But we know exactly who got them. So they have to bring it in for their own good. Because they can run. I'm going to hold them.
Walking into the department, its vision, values and goals are at the reception. The new secretary is urging his staff to have time to read such documents and laws that guide and govern them in serving the people. He said the department has a huge task now of getting back the people's trust. Shamin Poriambep, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. When we come back, we bring you a closer look at the recent New Ireland Education Expo. Welcome back. A 4-day expo was held by the New Ireland Education Division in Kavieng Town. Provincial Education Board Chairlady Dr. Caleb Malpo says this is an attempt to focus on teaching areas and assist students identify their future careers. The expo also saw higher learning institutions directly conversing with students during sessions. Our reporter Jack Lapauve Jr. was there and brings us this week's A Closer Look at the New Ireland Education Expo.
Education in New Ireland has been a top priority since 2007. The province has produced some of the country's top results and shaped some of Papua New Guinea's top elites in different fields. But in the last 8 years, its education standard has dropped. Getting its stakeholders together, the recent Education Expo was an approach to revive the focus in the sector.
We're vigorously looking for ways to once more raise the standards of education in our province, because we here in the province, we know that in the 60s and 70s, this province produced the top elites of this country. And somewhere along the line, we've kind of lost that. And towards the late 80s and 90s. And so what we're trying to do through the PEB and the Division of Education is to once more lift the standards of education in our province. And what we have just embarked on with the Education Expo is one approach that we have taken.
The expo was held over 4 days at the Peter Torot Hall in Kavieng. The Education Expo was described as an eye-opener for many that attended. The expo saw higher learning institutions participating through sessions and one-on-one dialogue with students and staff. Most schools in and around the provincial capital attended the event. Speaking on behalf of headmasters and school principals, Mr. Tokmun says the event is very helpful.
When we have this Career Expo, it exposes our students to the courses available in all higher institutions, and they are aware of the type of courses, and most importantly the entry requirements. entry requirements to those different courses, especially the university courses. And so our students are made aware of the entry requirements for all those different courses there.
Teamed Bridging Classroom Learning to Future Career Pathways, the PEB chairlady says this is the focus now to ensure classroom learning is linked to job-related opportunities. Lower and upper secondary students were given the first-hand choice to converse with institutions. For many, it created a locked-in mindset for students while studying.
There were many things that we've learned. I learned. I was granted the opportunity of gaining first-hand information from tertiary institutions that has piqued my interest as a student, and I also got to learn new things such as the new courses that, for example, UNRE will be offering to the students next year. Not only that, also Polytech, and I also got to learn many inspiring messages from the speakers who will no doubt help me in paving my pathway and making the right choices.
A team from the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology were also part of the expo. This was a first-of-its-kind opportunity for students in New Ireland Province. They gave a run-through of the services offered and also conversed with students about critical aspects of entering universities.
So purposely we came to the New Ireland Province Education Expo to make our presentation on the NOAS and as well on the health program. And we actually visited the schools, the secondary schools, and also made the presentation to the general student body at the expo. And we are privileged to present to the students the NOAS application process. And as well, we learned from the expo with our stakeholders, the higher education institutions, the universities, and also other industries who are actually the employment sector.
According to the New Ireland Education, it operates 560 schools. With a school population of over 59,000 students and more than 2,000 teachers, the province has improved its effort to deliver quality education across all sectors of education. In 2019, grade 10s and 12s placed New Ireland in the top 5 among secondary schools in the country. The province overall means average index was 10 behind NCD, East New Britain and East Sepik. For the provincial administration, challenges remain to deliver a conducive learning environment for students in New Ireland.
Those enrollments have since increased, understanding where we must go and why children should be educated. I am more concerned with accessibility now that we can attract at least up to 50,000, but the quality of education has been a concern of the government.
With the expo already creating some sort of excitement in students, the challenge is now relayed back to the Division of Education in New Ireland to address quality and infrastructure. A primary school teacher says changes in the curriculum has also affected learning. She says the expo is also helpful for teachers and begins with lesson preparations.
In the event of listening to different speakers who came to speak to us, I see where the failing part is, that the students, the teachers are not really helping and guiding the students in this way, telling them and getting them to be focused on what they need to be focused. Because I know that every curriculum that we are teaching is geared towards a job. It is not just a curriculum. We teach a curriculum that is geared towards a job, so we need to prepare them properly and see the importance of subjects that we teach them.
The expo was also attended by primary school students. Though this may not be relevant for them, the expo did create some awareness for the lower primary.
I've learned a lot from that. Things I didn't know about these universities. I learned about subjects I didn't know about as well. The presentations were very educational and came to my level of understanding. I really understood everything and I enjoyed the expo very, 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 very much. I hope that there will be more expos like this because we students in New Ireland, we are very fortunate to have it, and we really need to have more of this. It's very educational, and it will help us through our career pathways.
This la expo where now me go looking. I'm on and help me pla. Normally me plugata students is la locating. This la kind of something will come up now. I'm can help me pla lo many ways like all GPA all schools. Me pla no sabe na now me pla sabe me pla can score is la mark lo Gonzales school. Normally me pla ko school foul number out na me pla no sabe one kind mark lo kisim. But now this expo come me pla can look mo is la mark GPA.
A significant event was also embraced during the expo, the possibility of building a Polytech campus in New Ireland. This saw exchange of gifts and for talks to begin. This is an essential dialogue captured under the Malagan Declaration for higher learning institutions to be established in the province. The expo also highlighted the need for students to be self-disciplined. This was a key message delivered by higher learning institutions over the 4-day event. The PEB chairlady says this is crucial for students' preparation to enter universities or other institutions.
Before they can decide which career paths, that first they must reevaluate themselves and know who they are and look at their results, and from their plan as to where is my strength. And from their strengths they can then see how and where they could be in future.
For expo organizers, the expo is an event that has now driven interest in schools, especially students and staff. Many believe such event should be held annually.
I think this is very helpful, and we hope that we may have some more or some more of this held in the future to help our grade 11s and grade 10s, because some of the students were not attending to this, so they need to know more about this so that it may help them in their career pathway in the future, like their dreams, what would they want to be in the future.
While job opportunities vary in New Ireland and around the country, the Provincial Education Board believes a child's dream will only be achieved with the right start, and that begins at the lowest level of learning in a classroom.
Helping the children of today, and especially in our province, to develop, to have goals. Go to school with some kind of ideas as to what will I be in future. And that what they learn in the classroom will help them to work towards that dream that they hope to achieve. And so setting visions was very important. That's why we talked about connecting classroom learning to the fulfillment of those dreams. So we believe that through the PEB and the Division of Education, that when students have some ideas about what their possible career would be, their dream, then they will work on improving the process through the kind of subjects that they take.
Turkey Sports is next. All the details when we come back.
Turkey Sports.
Welcome to Turkey Sports. The Lace Next Tigers managed to defuse a late comeback by the PRK Mendy Muruks, edging the side for their third grand final appearance in a row since 2019. The Tigers managed to edge out Muruks 14 points to 10 this afternoon in front of a vocal crowd at the Oil Search National Football Stadium. Tigers coach Stanley Tappan excited about the win.
We had to start strong in the first half. We scored first, and then the second half as well, we started strong as well. So, and then working off defense after that. So I think you can't do much in finals. The crowd will carry you through. Certain things will go your way, but you just got to pull through. You play on adrenaline, you play on just excitement sometimes. So I think the boys did that. A bit of a change from the team, a lot of young guys, but I think them being together really helped. So that was good. I think that's what pulled us through.
3 of Lays Secondary School's soccer boys received sports gear courtesy of Panamex Group on Friday. The company's national sales and marketing manager, Ronald Ram, said this is part of their ongoing support towards the school's participation in the Lay Football Association. The students, Emmanuel Zoreri, Rex Civil, and Nigel Kiaka, were presented the items along with the teacher in charge, Gapung Miapu. Whilst playing in the LFA, the 3 students were selected for the Northern Development Team. Mr. Ram said with the aim of promoting the sport amongst youths, they will be supporting LaySec for the next few years. Lay Secondary School's teacher in charge of soccer, Mr. Gapung Miapu, said he was overwhelmed with this additional support, saying the support given by Panamex will boost the sport in the school.
Sometimes, students are not so, smart, knowledge-wise, and so we're trying to, give them some alternative path here, trying to help them to, be something in the future. So Panamex are taking this initiative.
I'd like to really thank them. And, as the management is saying here, we are looking forward to go on from there next year. We still have the youth league for soccer. And it will be a surprise that LaySec should have junior development in rugby league, and we should also be spearheading soccer too.
Trukai Sports continues with more after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. Just 24 hours after New Zealand's first medal at this year's Paralympics, they now have their first gold. 20-year-old Tupou Niyufi produced a stunning race in the women's 100 meters backstroke to win by almost 1.5 seconds.
It took a while for the moment to sink in for Tupou Niyufi.
But it is going to be Niyufi who is the champion.
But when it did, the emotion was clear for all to see, including her idol.
I'm running on a few hours of sleep, so it's just been so overwhelming.
It was a dominant performance by Niyufi, leading for most of the race.
Well, this is a fantastic turnaround from the New Zealander.
Though she concedes it was far from perfect.
My race plan was to stick to one side of the lane, but obviously as soon as I got towards the end, all of a sudden I started touching the right side of the lane, and I was like, okay, there goes my technique out the window.
Arguably the loudest voice in the Tokyo Aquatic Centre was the person who inspired her to take up Paris swimming, 9-time Paralympic gold medalist Sophie Pascoe.
As soon as I went back to the team area, I just heard her screaming, and I was like, oh my God, and I knew it was Sophie straight away. And I just see her running towards me, and she just gave me such a big hug.
Hugs turning into pizza-fueled celebrations.
They have a few different types of food. I'm just like, just give it to me. Just put it on my plate. I just had 2 slices though.
A deserved 3 slices for someone who's now stood at the top of the dais, just like she watched her hero do so many times.
Japan's Paralympic tennis player Shingo Kunieda has maintained his position on the court.
In the men's competition, the hosts' hopes rest on Kunieda Shingo, the world #1 and a 3-time Paralympic gold medalist. The 37-year-old here at the far end took on Marek Gergely of Slovakia.
Too good from Kunieda.
The match was entertaining at times, but the Japanese veteran always in control. He took the first set 6-love, never in trouble. The match finished in just over an hour.
As easy as that in the end. Cuneda holds his serve, holds his nerve. That gets the victory.
Cuneda moves on to round 3.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Southern region, Port Moresby, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. Daru, cloudy with few squally showers possible. Kerema, partly cloudy. Alotau, brief evening showers. And Popondetta, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. Momasi region, Ley, cloudy periods with some showers. Medang, mostly fine. Wewak and Vanimo, mostly fine, although partly cloudy at times. For the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, Kavieng and Kimbe, partly cloudy with brief showers possible. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine, although partly cloudy at times. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. And for the Highlands region, all centres, partly cloudy with brief showers, evening showers possible.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Sunday, 29th of August, 2021. Until next time, pleasant viewing, pleasant week ahead. Be safe. Bye for now.